So in today's video, we're actually gonna be installing all of this into this little tiny little box. And in case you're wondering how small this thing really is, just for reference, here is a water bottle right next to it. As you can see, it's about the same exact height. And if you put it like this, it takes up like half the case. So all of this is going in there. To put this together, we're gonna need the motherboard, the RAM, the CPU, and the cooler, and go like this. Boom. So let's switch views so you can get a close-up of how to put this together. And the motherboard I went with is the Azeroth B850i. It's got everything I wanted. 2 NVMe slots, support for up to 128 gigs of RAM if I ever needed it, solid VRM cooling, and of course, works with the Ryzen 7 9800X 3D. For the RAM, 64 gigs of Kingston RAM. No frills, just solid performance and reliability. Speeds up to 5600 megatransfers. For cooling, I wanted something a little different. That's where the Thermalright AXP90X53 came in. The all copper design makes it stand out. And even though it's a low profile cooler, it's rated for 135 watts. 9800X 3D pulls 125 watts. So yeah, it's kind of close, but in the ITX world, you don't get a ton of options. This one looked pretty cool. As for the SSDs, I'm just transferring the 2 terabyte and the 4 terabyte that I already had on my personal computer. So you are probably wondering why I went with these PC parts. Honestly, it came down to 2 things: finding the best deals online and making sure the parts did exactly what I needed. ITX builds are tricky since the parts usually cost more than ATX and MATX, so I had to focus more on functionality than looks. Cooler was actually very easy to install once I read the instructions. I did run into a little issue trying to put it through the board though. I had to kind of shimmy it back and forth because it got stuck, so keep that in mind if you're building this machine yourself. The power supply was a tough call. At first, I wanted a white PSU to match the case, but that alone would have cost me an extra $100. Not really worth it in my opinion. So I went with the Cooler Master V SFX Gold 850. Plenty of power for the entire system, and that includes the RTX 5080 that we're installing. This build should pull around 550 watts under load, which still leaves room for spikes. Also, keep in mind that most power supplies are the most efficient, around 65 to 75%. And this build falls right in between somewhere there. The best part is actually that the build itself is really simple. It has fewer parts, no extra fans to add, and it's just fun to put together. But I learned very quickly that you have to plug in the PCIe riser before you install the motherboard, or else it's not going to be a fun time trying to get it in. Fit inside the chassis is tight, and the riser I got is just long enough to fit perfectly flush. So if you're building something like this, keep that in mind. Once everything is installed, cable management is minimal, which made it easy. And honestly, I love how this came out. With the unique look of the copper cooler, adding to the compact design, it makes me want to just run it open air with the side panels off. In my opinion, this thing looks really clean. So the computer turned out very cool, but we have one important question to answer, and that is, how is the performance? So for this, we're going to be running multiple games to test it out.
In Farlight 84, which feels a lot like Apex Legends, we pulled a crazy average of 280 FPS. That's on maxed out graphics at 1440p resolution. Gameplay was buttery smooth, and even though we're not the best at the game, it was still an absolute blast. In Call of Duty Warzone, running max settings with no upscaling or DLSS, we averaged between 150 and 155 FPS at 1440p. Since my monitor is 144 Hz, that puts me right in the sweet spot for this setup. And remember, if you're gaming at 1080p, you'll see even higher frame rates. Even though Borderlands 4 has been getting some buzz online about optimization issues, we still had to test it out. With DLSS upscaling and frame generation set to 4, we pulled an average of 150 FPS on max settings at 1440p. The gameplay felt smooth, with no noticeable input lag on our end. And hey, since this rig is rocking an RTX 5080, it only makes sense to take advantage of those features. Overall, it made the game a blast to play.
Make sure you check out the description down below. I'm going to leave a list of all of the products that I used today. But if you don't want to build it yourself, I'm also going to give you a link of where to get a pre-built version of this. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one.